As we move closer to the end of the year, life can feel hectic and overwhelming. There's a lot of things that are going on all around us during this season. And we need to take a step back sometimes and just evaluate some things. And when we look back over the past 12 months, can we truly say that we have accomplished what we set out to do? People are really wanting to accomplish those goals by December. Now that December is here and you feel like you may not have accomplished it, it's okay because this is the time of the year that we can take inventory. Let's look at what's working in our lives and what's not working in our lives. Have we accomplished what we set out to do? Maybe not. This is a time of a milestone to look at what we have done, what we haven't done, what we need in our lives, and what we need to take out as well. I'll tell you the truth, these past few months for me have been more than overwhelming. My mental state has been shifting just a little bit. But I sat and I thought about it and I realized that I've been cramming a lot of information into my mind. I've signed up for program after program, but I know these programs are going to help me during my journey of early retirement. So I need to pause, take a step back, and analyze everything and look at my time frames on when I want to accomplish each one of the programs and just pace myself. Don't feel like I have to finish everything all at once. Now, there's a question that I want to ask you, and I want to hear your comments down below. What are you holding on to that you need to release so that you can move forward with clarity and peace? We need to ask ourselves that question. I know I've been asking myself that question as well. What are you holding on to that you need to release so that you have clarity and purpose in your life? I'm going to give you an example. If we're holding on to something in our hands so tightly, both hands, we can't use them. We can't use our hands like this. So sometimes we got to stop and look and realize the pain, the suffering that we're causing ourselves by holding on to things that are not serving us. Sometimes we just have to let it go. Let go of those things that are not serving you. Welcome to another episode of Just Lovely Living. Here is where we create the atmosphere for you to celebrate your grace, beauty, and style. My name is Tanya, and here is where we guide women over 50 to step away from their 9-to-5 to embrace early retirement to do some slow, intentional travel. Now, with some strategic planning and practical tools, and with a supportive community that we are building right here on this channel, we can live life on our own terms. Now, if that's something that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and subscribe and like. And if you know someone that needs to step away from their 9-to-5, go ahead and share this video. This week I watched a video that really got me thinking about taking inventory of my life, of what's working and what's not working. I stumbled across the video. It's not a channel that I typically would watch because it's a channel that focuses on Bitcoin, but it's a gentleman who is talking about his early retirement journey. He never did give his name, but the name of the video is, 3 Big Reasons Why I Retired Early, and my advice to young people. So that's 3 big reasons why I retired early and my advice to young people. And the name of the channel really struck me. It was really interesting how he put the name together. Be-tirement. Be-tirement. And the B, because he focuses on Bitcoin and then putting like the word retirement attached to it. I thought that was so cute the way that was done. But 2 of the things that he was talking about within the video, he was talking about taking inventory of what he has. And a lot of times we take inventory of what we don't have. We don't have enough money. We don't have enough time. And we're looking at what we don't. But let's start taking inventory and looking at what we do have. So once we realize what we have, we can fill in the gaps of what we actually need. A lot of times we don't even know what we need for retirement. We just think that it's so far away that we'll never get there because of finances. But there are other ways to work around that issue to early retirement. The second thing that he was talking about of how his job was no longer serving him. Now, he did like his job. He was with this company for over 20 years. He was an engineer and he liked what he was doing. But it was just over time of the corporate politics and just the little things that were starting to bother him that said he was ready to give up that 9 to 5. And we need to look at that. I'm actually in that position right now, just starting to really take inventory of my career. I do like my job. I like what I do. But, I've mentioned before, there's just those little things that are really starting to um, tell you the truthfully, just like get on my nerves, right? So the first thing that I wanted to look at was my career when I'm looking at inventory. I've started this position about a year ago as an HR business partner. And I know there's always this learning curve of learning that particular job. So give or take 2, maybe 3 months max. But I've put in a lot of time and effort. I feel like I go beyond what is required of me. I'm working later hours. Over the weekend, I tend to pick up the phone when one of the managers call because I feel like if they're calling me on a weekend, it just might be an emergency. Checking emails, off hours, and really helping people going beyond what is really required. And what's really, stirred this up once again, I got an email from my VP last week of an employee who left us who was complaining that they didn't get their last check. And they were trying to get the information. And I guess I really just didn't move fast enough to get the answers. I thought I was giving them all they needed within an email. And if they needed additional resources, I was just helping to guide them. Well, that email got to my VP, and he felt like I may have been a little dismissive. I wasn't taking care of the person, but I gave all the information that I knew to give. So I'm thinking to myself, no matter what you do, no matter how good you are, how much time, how much effort that you put into things, someone is always going to give you what they call constructive criticism, right? But when you're given that constructive criticism, it really doesn't feel good at the time that you're receiving that information because you're thinking to yourself, you did all that you could do. So I'm really just looking at it, I am working on my final certification, but I don't feel motivated right now to study for this. I just don't know why. I only got a couple of more months to study. And so I'm thinking like, is it something that I really need? But it's something that I truly want. It's a certification for investigations. And I love doing the investigation side of my position, but I just need to figure out time, So the next thing that I'm looking at as far as inventorying my life is my time. When I compare all the time that I'm putting into work, that's taking away time from my personal life. I go to meditation class 2 times a week. One day is for my own meditation practice, and then a second day I volunteer for a level 1 class. And I was going to be going 3 times a week, but I had to sit and think about that and take away one of those days. And I'm also looking at all these programs that I signed up for, making time to actually complete these programs. There's one program, a finance program that I signed up with Tiffany Aliche. It is her money program. It's a year program. And so I want to pace myself with that, not feeling like I have to cram everything into a month or 2 months, but really spread it out and look at that so that I can complete that and have that information so I can use it towards my early retirement. I just completed a wonderful program with Stephanie Perry. It is her YouTube Success Challenge. It was a 5-day challenge. And it was something that I felt like I wanted to participate in because I'm documenting my journey of early retirement. And it is an excellent program. If you're someone who is thinking about starting a YouTube channel, I would suggest that you reach out. I would suggest that you participate in that program. So, Stephanie Perry is the co founder of Exodus Summit. This is a group that works with you if you want to move abroad. It is a great community. A lot of support is there that you can tap into. And then Stephanie has her different programs that she does on her own. The YouTube Success Challenge is something that she offers. So if you are thinking about a YouTube channel, I would suggest that you take that and program. Then even that, is that something that I put too much on my shoulders to say to do this YouTube channel? But this YouTube channel is going to keep me accountable so that I can keep track of what I'm doing towards my early retirement. So this is just a method that I'm using to be able to accomplish my goals. Now, the last thing that I'm looking at as far as inventory is my personal space. I have found myself over time seeing things just pile up, whether it's paperwork, junk mail that is starting to pile up, or when I'm taking my clothes off for the day, I'm seeing piles there. When your life is cluttered all around you, your mind begins to be cluttered as well. So I want to clean up my space as I continue to downsize, get rid of what no longer is serving me. If it's just sitting in a pile, it means I'm not using it. So I need to go through the piles and just get rid of what I no longer need. And this way it's going to free up some space. When your space is clean and tidy, you're able to think a whole lot clearer towards whatever you're trying to accomplish. So these are the 3 areas that I am looking at doing inventory with: my career, looking at my time, and also looking at my personal space, personal inventory as well. What is something that you feel like you would inventory in your life as we move to the new year? I would love to hear your comments down below of something that you want to inventory, something that you want to get rid of. You see all these messages. What are we going to keep and what are we going to throw away? That's all an inventory is about. What do we have? What are we going to keep? And what do we need to get rid of? I want to hear your comments down below. As we take this time to do some inventory, I want to offer you a free resource that I have. I have a workbook called 5 Simple Steps to Starting a Goal. This is the perfect time just to sit down and evaluate some things. It's a free resource that you can download. I'll have all the information in the description down below. It is a workbook where you can fill in the blanks, and there's also audio with it as well. It's absolutely free. And what it does is it gets you started. I do have a program called Start with Just One. It goes more into in depth as far as accomplishing a goal. And that's a program that I'm revamping. But when you go to download the free resource, you will see Start with Just One that is available as well. You're more than welcome to purchase that now. And then when I revamp and upgrade the program of Start with Just One, you'll be able to get the upgrade absolutely free. If you're ready to start really taking action in your goals, that's what the Start with Just One, because we want to start with just one step at a time, right? Yes. I want to thank all of my new subscribers for joining me. If you've made it this far, go ahead and subscribe. And if you know someone that needs to retire early, go ahead and share this information with them. I would love for you to join this community and share how you potentially will be retiring early as well. So thank you all for joining and have a lovely day.